Sam Shankland joined me on the channel for a live broadcast, and we discussed his new book, Converting an Extra Pawn in Chess. If you don't know Sam, he's a renowned grandmaster from the US, played for the US team many occasions, won gold medal at the Olympiad in Baku with the team in 2016, and he's also an excellent educator. So this book arose out of a series of online lectures that he gave for his Killer Chess Academy, and he's honed those lectures and basically put them together in this book, and I warmly recommend it. So Sam has very clear methods of exploiting an extra pawn, and he explains his concepts very well. I recommend you check out the whole interview. Actually, it was great stuff. But if you can't manage that, I'd like to show you one segment, about 10 minutes long, where we discuss the Benko Gambit and how white can best exploit that extra pawn. And then after that, Sam gives a list of some of his favourite books that he's learned the most from. He basically reads out a list of some of the most instructive chess books ever written. So do check out this segment. And remember, you can get his new book directly from Quality Chess, or New in Chess, or Forward Chess. So I hope you enjoy this. Sure. This game you played, so this was a Benko Gambit, and actually, I mean, yeah. I think I've only ever really faced the Benko in Simmels.
It's a much more serious opening than people think. And nowadays, if you ever see a Benko Gambit up a tempo, like there's this new anti-Grunfeld C4, G6, H4. If Black just starts playing Benko Gambits there, it becomes much more serious. But
yeah,
here I demonstrated a pretty serious misunderstanding at one critical moment, which definitely changed the result of the game.
That's the moment that I thought was really instructive. I think we're thinking of the same moment. So, I mean, first of all, let me put this in a bit of context. I mean, years ago, basically white did stuff like this and sometimes put a rook here and a queen here. But A4 has basically taken over as the main line here.
It's definitely the best move. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also point out this game, I was playing a substantially lower rated opponent. Like I was 2650 at the time, and I was playing with, not even a grandmaster, but he played quite a good game. So, but yeah, keep that in mind.
Yeah. Okay, so this is the position, and I thought this was very, very interesting. I love the way you explained this in the book, actually. Yeah. So it's white to play, and for me, the move that you played was, how can I put it, the most natural, right. in a sense. Because, well, I won't say anything more. Let's see what our viewers think. So it is white to play. What would you play next?
I think the move I made, I think, is really a serious misunderstanding.
Yeah, and that's what I found really interesting, because I think for many people, this would be a very natural move to make. But the way you explained it...
for me at the time. I don't have the timestamps, but I'm pretty sure I played it pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So
white to play. It's all gone very quiet. All right, Alpetification wants Rook HB1. We've got Clay Jadon, who wants Bishop C3. Rook A2, Rook A3. Okay, we've got quite a variety of moves here. Yeah. Interesting. H4. Bravo. Bishop C3 again. Okay, we have a real variety.
Yeah.
Bishop C3 again. Bishop C3 again. So basically Bishop C3 is kind of coming to the top of the pole.
Yeah. So this comes down to converting the extra pawn, and I think Bishop C3 is a tremendous strategic mistake. So knight e8 is not a subtle move. Let's start with that. It's very obvious the guy wants knight c7 to undermine our knight on b5 that is clogging down the open b file, right? And once knight c7 happens, and then we have to take it, and queen takes c7, black's hoping for counterplay. So what we ultimately realize is we're probably gonna have to put the pawn on b3. I can't really imagine the pawn staying on b2. And if we, let's say we play, well, we can just go with the game continuation. Bishop c3. This is what I played. Knight c7, knight takes c7, queen takes c7, and then let's say like take this position here. Let's go bishop takes g7, king takes g7, and let's go b3, rook b4. Basically here, I think it's effectively impossible for white to ever make any further progress. The pressure on the b3 pawn is incredibly annoying. c4 is always hanging over your head. You're never going to play b4. You're never going to play a5. Let's go like rook a b1 here, and then king g8. And if I told you you had an option to place a bishop on d2 here and give black his bishop back on g7, would you take it? At this point, it should become abundantly clear, abso-freaking-lutely. We get that bishop on d2, we kick this rook off of the annoying b4 square, we can then solidly play a5, which will keep our pawn protected and advanced. Then we can play b4, which will open the c file. With an open c file, we can potentially start trading major pieces, and then we have a passed pawn that will win us the game. So essentially here, in this position, a set of dark squared bishops would be enormously beneficial to be on the board for white. Not for black, for white. And that is not natural. People always look at this bishop on g7 and think that's the better bishop. It's just not true. If we had the dark squared bishop still on the board, so for example, I believe the best move is rook a b1, knight c7, and say we go take, queen takes c7 and b4, this game's over. Like, he has to go queen a7, or otherwise I'm going to go b5 and a5, and then it's really over. But after queen a7, I play a5. Okay, I don't think he should allow b5, but after c takes b4, rook takes b4, this a pawn is going to count. And now importantly, I've opened lines on the queen side, which means I can go rook c1 and queen c7, which means black's going to have to make up his mind. Do I allow piece exchanges? Or do I let, because if I don't allow piece exchanges, white's just going to invade the 7th rank. But if I do allow piece exchanges, he's about to go make a queen on me. And essentially my ability to open the queen side, get files, came down to my ability to play the moves a5 and b4, and that was exactly because the dark squared bishops remained on the board. The way the game played out without the dark squared bishops, very quickly black was just fine.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's very, very interesting because, you know, as many people are saying, that it feels natural to sort of trade off that dangerous bishop, and in some variations of the Benko, of course, that's the star piece.
So, but the point is that's a dangerous bishop tactically. He's looking for threats against your b2 pawn. It's not a strategically dangerous bishop.
Yeah,
it's not a long-term dangerous bishop. And if you can play rook a b1 and b3, that bishop just shoots into nothingness.
Yep. But very, very interesting, and you know, as you know, I've never really studied these positions properly. I've never really played either side of this position. I thought that was a fascinating moment in the game, actually.
Yeah,
and
because if we go forward to, like, I don't know, we just skip ahead to how the game went, like up to whatever. Let's say 21 knight c4, rook b4. Like, I just think black's totally fine here. Like b3, rook a, b8, rook e3, or whatever. There's just no plan to make any further progress. We can't open any lines to encourage trades of heavy pieces. I mean, I tried with f4, e5, but this is, you know, but it's still not great. And I never could play a5 safely without that pawn becoming a liability. I could never play b4, kick the rook away. Like, I needed the dark squared bishops and didn't have them. And all of a sudden now, like, I was actually very lucky not to lose this game.
Yeah, I mean, of course, once the f-pawn advances, then, you know, white has to be extremely careful. So
yeah, I mean, I was, I guess, frustrated by my lack of a plan, and I took too many risks, and now I can very easily just lose this game.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was lucky at the end not to.
Okay, let me just show the final moves of the game.
Sure.
So this happened.
Yeah, rook a6 was a blunder. He would have just been winning
strong,
almost anything else. Like, let's say maybe king g8, and then queen takes e5, d3 looks very convincing.
Okay, checks. No checks here. Is this possible?
Yeah, well, there's king f7 and then king e8 perhaps.
King. Oh, okay.
Oh no, but
Interesting.
there's queen b8, queen b5, and queen d3. Yeah, no, so I forget exactly how, but like the computer said black was winning here pretty easily after rook e6.
Okay, but we take your point that basically, white has to be careful here, basically.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe
Okay, so
rook
the game
a5.
ended like this.
Yeah, and here he can't avoid the perpetual anymore.
Yeah.
But
Hmm.
yeah, definitely interesting.
Yeah. Okay, we've got another question for you. Does
Sure.
Sam collect chess books? What's his favorite book, and what book does he consider the most instructive?
I don't know if you can see, but that's my bookshelf.
Okay.
So I've got some books. It's not like I have a massive collection, but and especially nowadays, I'm more and more sort of turning to the dark side and mostly doing ebooks. But I can definitely list some of the books that I thought had the biggest impact on me. Fundamental Chess Endings by Karsten Muller, I think, is excellent. Dvoretsky's Endgame Manual is excellent. Jakob's Ogard's entire Grandmaster Preparation series is excellent, especially Calculation. That's the one that, and also Practical Chess Defense. I think it was the Calculation book and Practical Chess Defense in the first place that convinced me I want to work with this guy and hire him as my coach.
Hmm.
So those books had a very strong impact on me. I really liked, I think it was Positional Decision Making in Chess by Boris Gelfand. And obviously, I'd be kind of a clown if I didn't say my own books were good. But yeah,
Well, they certainly are. As I said, let's plug this, folks.
sure.
I've been reading this over the last couple of weeks and thoroughly enjoyed it and found it very, very instructive. And what I like about it, Sam, is that you're writing words, explanations. So of course there are important variations, but you explain it very clearly.